Hello, 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 and welcome to Awakening Potential Podcast, your gateway to the extraordinary. Today, we're featuring Renata Angelo, coming to you from Australia. And Renata is a business coach, a speaker, a trainer who has mastered turning everyday moments into milestones of wisdom. Renata is known for the Queen of Manifestation. With over 20 years of experience, she's supported um, globally, achieving her desired outcomes by harnessing the power of the subconscious mind. She's co-authored two best-selling books with Brian Tracy and Richard Branson. Renata Angelo embodies the transition from ordinary to extraordinary, making her the perfect guide for today's explanation or exploration. It's been a long day for me, for sure. Join us as we delve into her transformational journey and glean insights to elevate your own life. Let's embark an enlightening journey together, and a warm welcome to you, Renata. Thank you so much for making the time and coming all the way across the ocean to us.
Thank you so much, Karen, for the invitation. I'm really honored to be here with you and this amazing audience. So hello from down under.
Thank you. Thank you. I did most of my studying, believe it or not, in marketing, sales, studying from down under on Zoom many late nights. So I can relate. So I'm curious for the listening audience, who is Renata, the woman?
Well, I consider myself as mom, entrepreneur, and my life mission is to inspire and enlighten the world so we can rise the consciousness to the next level. Because I believe that all of us, we are co-creators of this magnificent reality that we're experiencing. And this reality could be influenced by the media and by the consciousness that is here on the planet now. If we want to solve the problems that we face today, I believe we have to solve it with a different mindset.
Mhm.
Einstein said already, the problem cannot be solved with the same mindset that has created it. So I know once we connect to our higher self, to our intuition, to the divine, and we holistically look at any challenges we have in our life, I know we can then turn the impossible into possible. And it happened so many times in my life and in my clients' life that I know it's way far beyond any coincidences. So I know that everyone, you, me, and all the people that are listening here today, they are able to create miracles. We just were not told how to do it. And that's why we are here today as well, to unlock the potential and show each other how we can manifest the dreams into reality.
I
Yeah.
love that. It's one of my favorite topics, as we've shared briefly. And I love the fact turning the impossible into possible. I'm curious, what's a little bit, if you would, about your backstory? Like, what got you to the point of knowing, like, this is it? Like, you came from X and you ended up here at Z, or Z, as it were there. What what was your
Yeah. So as always, the hardest moments in our life are the biggest opportunities and biggest gift that we receive. So when I was 23, I was run over by a car and I ended up on the wheelchair with the chronic back pains 24/7. I learned to walk again, but the pains persisted. And after a year, doctors pronounced me partially disabled for life. And I was told that I have to learn to live with the pain. And I know that every single person is facing some sort of pain in their life. It could be pain in the relationships, financial pain, it could be the physical pain. And at the time, I had a choice that I could either agree and take it, that I have to learn to live with the pain, or I had a choice to find a cure for the chronic pain and self-heal. And I've decided to do the other. And as you call it, some people call it mindset, you call it mind shift. So I believe that's the first key into manifestation, because if you believe you can do it, you are right. If you believe you can't, you are also right, as Henry Ford said.
Yeah.
So I believe that I can do it. I didn't know how. And it's the one thing we always need to know where we are heading. What is the outcome we want to achieve? We do not necessarily need to know the steps. And for me at the time, first thing that came to my mind was, Renata, if all the doctors are saying it's impossible to heal the chronic pain, how on earth you could come up with the answer? But my insight was that if I would have studied medicine, if I would have the very same training, I most likely would have the very same mindset. And most likely I would not find the answer, because the answer might not be there. We
Exactly.
might be sometimes walking west trying to see the sunrise, and it doesn't matter how hard you try, how much effort and energy you put into it, you just won't see the outcome. So I've spent first year of doing everything from the Western medicine. Unfortunately, nothing helped. Then I turned 180 degrees, tried everything from the Eastern medicine. Unfortunately, couldn't find the answer neither. And then I realized one thing, that we are mind, body, and spirit. And at the point when I connected through the meditations, I've started doing the practice. And one of my teachers told me that if you meditate half an hour a day, within half a year, the miracles will start happening in your life. And I've done that, and they literally start happening. And within then 1 year, I managed in a meditation, I had a very profound experience where I managed to self-heal. I had that quantum healing in a meditation, and the pains were gone within a minute, and I've been healed ever since. And I didn't want to keep it to myself. Well, I did for first 10 years,
Yeah.
because the story, how it happened, that was just so out of this world that I was like, I can't even share it with anyone. But when I was 40 and I went to Tony Robbins' event, I've got that courage to speak up, and I created workshops and I start sharing the story, and then other people start self-healing. So I have seen so many miracles when people literally self-heal within changing the mind, connecting to the heart, connecting to the spirit, just clearing the blocks that are stopping us from the self-healing, because I believe that the body has an ability to self-heal.
Absolutely.
So once we put those blocks away, it can do the magic. So yeah, it's exciting journey.
There's never any coincidences in my world. And I was so, I'm getting my God, what I call my God bumps. Um, there was no coincidences that I asked you to be part of the show today. I had the same healing journey. I had
Wow.
a accident in Costa Rica last January, and I was doing what I love doing, and I was riding horses on the beach at sunset. Gorgeous background in Costa Rica. I don't speak Spanish. The horse spooked. I went flying up in the air 6 feet, landed on my butt, and literally broke my femur off and fractured my pelvis and dislocated my back. And the one doctor who spoke English said to me, we're going to do the surgery, but the chances of you walking are going to be really. And I just remember closing my eyes, going within and opening them and saying, your prognosis doesn't have to be my diagnosis. And right? And within 6 months, I gave away the cane. 8 months I was walking, and it was a long journey. And I'm still, in recovery, in the sense that it's a constant, but I've had no pain whatsoever at this point. I mean, while I was going through it, there was a lot of pain, I'm not gonna lie. But I just kept affirming over and over. I kept meditating over and over and speaking to my higher powers, because I too believe that the power is within each and every one of us. So I'm so grateful you came on today and spoke about that, because I know we're never alone. It's not just you or I. I mean, there are other people out there having their miracles, but there are also people listening that perhaps might be looking for that miracle. And now they have witness to both of us going through that journey.
Yes, that's true. And miracles do have happened if we believe in them.
That's
So
it.
I believe
Yeah,
that that's the first thing. If you think, oh, I can't do it, then you can't. But if you open up, and I believe we have like a direct line, and it doesn't matter if you call it God, universe, source,
anything.
ether, but to that unlimited intelligence that has created this world, that, you know, from the sperm and egg, there is that beautiful human being like you, Karen, you know, there is, it's a magic in that. And we don't understand it fully, but we can connect to it
Exactly.
and we can get the guidance. That's what I do with a lot of my entrepreneurs as well. And I know your community, there is a lot of entrepreneurs. We are very good in setting the goals, getting on the mission and going full tilt ahead and putting a lot of energy. But we can work in two ways. I always say we can work, if you imagine computer, we can work online or offline,
Exactly.
in connection with the spirit or without a connection. So when we are not connecting, we just have to do it the hard way, which means you have to find your clients, you have to deliver, you have to face the challenges, but you do it usually relying on your mindset, on your cognitive powers, and you do as many steps on the physical level as you can. But it could be exhausting, and people get burned out very easily, that they're putting a lot of effort, but not getting the results. The other option is then when we connect online, you know, when we put on that Wi-Fi and we start meditating, you connect to that infinite intelligence, to that quantum field, and you can co-create the miracles. And suddenly you find yourself in the right time, in the right place. You say the right things to the right people, and magic just happens. So I always say that it's so important, once we add the meditations to the everyday practice, it can just skyrocket the results that we have. So there are two things. One thing is set the goals. For someone is to say the prayers, to know where we going, what we want. But the second thing is to listen as well, because our minds are like sending and receiving stations.
Exactly.
So people are usually very good in sending the messages, but if we need to develop the ability to listen and listen to our intuition, listen to that guidance, listen to that inner feeling inside, and that will guide you towards the outcomes that you want to get.
Exactly. And just to reiterate, because it's beautifully put, is really getting still. And we live in a hustle bustle world where most people, not most, I don't want to say all or most, or a lot of people don't take the time for themselves or settle in to meditate or just be still to listen to what's being gifted them in a sense. So yeah, schedule the time. It's so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is, because we have literally we have three brains, you know. We have our physical brain, we have the heart, and we have the gut.
but
And all those brains are communicating with each other. And once we get to the heart, that's usually where the right answers are. The gut is giving us the instinct feeling and guidance, what is right and what is wrong for us.
exactly.
And the heart is really the center through which, if we are guided and we listen, that's how we can manifest. That's how we can manifest miracles, not only in the health, but also in the wealth aspect. Yeah, because to rising from where we are now to even having bigger businesses, having more income, it's just about giving more value to the people, becoming more. And I believe that the personal development goes always hand in hand with the business development, and one without the other doesn't work. So more we work on ourselves, better the business is as well. And
Absolutely.
I always say people are like fast cars, but sometimes we have that handbrake on, and you go like vroom, 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 you use a lot of energy, you get burned out, but we don't move that fast. That's because we have that handbrake. And that's usually my gift as well, to tune in and find out where the person has their own personal handbrake. What are those blockages that are stopping us? It could be sometimes the belief systems that we have from the childhood. It could be that our values are not in line with our goals and our subconscious mind is stopping us. So really getting rid of those blockages, that's what help us to propel forward. Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I know you're doing trainings and seminars and TV appearances and stage appearances and radio interviews, and you're such an inspiration to not just businesses, but to individuals as well. And I don't know about you, I can't speak for you, being aligned with what we're doing, right? And getting out there in the world is really, I find so much joy in it. And not only am I expanding others, but I expand myself on the journey, which is so rewarding that how can I not be having fun? Are you experiencing the same sort of magic?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And what I believe, it's so important to surround yourself with the people that are inspiring,
Absolutely.
because who you spend the most of the time with, that's who you become as well. So I always expand a network of people. And when I came to Australia first, I came from Eastern Europe, from beautiful city of Prague, but we were not even able to speak English. I thought I wanted to connect to the world, but it seemed impossible at that time. Coming here, even having that ability that we can speak and connect to each other, it's amazing. And I always thought, when I read those books, when I watch those movies like The Secret, I thought, these are the people I want to work with. These are the people who I want to have as my friends. And then I feel very blessed that that's the manifestation. One day, for example, I've sent a thought, I'm working with someone from The Secret, and a few weeks later, there was Mary Diamond, the Mister of Feng Shui, and she's calling me on my iPad and through Skype, asking me for cooperation. Am I dreaming? And she's like, Renata, I know you do seminars for Brian Tracy. Would you be able to create some events for me? I'm sure, of course. So we did events in Czech Republic, in Slovakia, and this is one quick story that I'll tell you. I was driving Mary Diamond back to the airport, and I just thought to myself, but I would love to spend some more time with her. I would love to bring her to my home, and ask about the beautiful feng shui that she's doing. So I've sent a thought to the universe. And honestly, within a couple of minutes, Mary gets the SMS from the airport that her flight, Prague Frankfurt, is having a delay and she won't be able to catch the one to Monaco. And I said, oh, Mary, you don't need to sleep in Frankfurt at the airport at night. If you like, you could stay at my place and you could go in the morning. She was, oh, would that be possible? Sure. So we spent a night at my place, and you can create and bring to your life anyone who you would like to cooperate with. Yeah, we just filming a movie with Joe Witte now, Zero Limits, which is going to be amazing as well. And yeah, I've connected with Brian. Vision board. Oh my gosh, if we have a minute, I would love to
I
share
do.
the story, because that could be inspirational for anyone who is listening now,
Sure.
because it's important the words that we use, but
Uh,
also the images that we surround
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yes, yes.
So what I did since I was a little girl, I've just always got the pictures of places I wanted to visit, people I wanted to meet. I used to put it inside of my wardrobe. When I opened it, that was my world, this 1 square meter. But then when I came to Australia, first time I opened a newspaper and I read my first personal development article. It was an inspirational article from Brian Tracy. It was the year 2001. I still have those newspapers. It's old yellow newspapers. I kept them. And in that article, when I read it, I'm like, this is the man I wanna work with. I wanna learn from him. So I've put this old newspaper, I put it on my wall. With the blue tag, I was sleeping on the floor at the time as a student. I had just mattress. I didn't even have a bed. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is a person who I'm going to work with. And within 10 years, what happened? Brian was going to Europe. And when I was there, I find out that he's going to have a seminar. And I would love to give this as an example how the manifestation work. I opened the computer and I was so ready to buy the ticket to the seminar. And my intuition was telling me, don't do it, don't do it. And I'm like, it's Brian Tracy. It's my dream. I want to connect. And the intuition, the gut feeling was telling me, don't do it. So I've learned in my life, listen to my intuition.
Absolutely.
I know if you do, miracles happens. If you don't, you have to cope the consequences. So I've decided to listen. I've closed the computer. I was sad, but next day I went for lunch with a friend and he said, I've shared a story. And he said, oh, my friend Peter will have Brian in Prague for a private event. I'm like, no way. I called Peter. I'll help you with organization of the event. It's all organized. I'm like, I help you with translations. It's all organized, but you can come as my VIP guest. I'm like, chin, let's do that. So when I walked in, there was 500 people. I walked straight to Brian, excited, introduced myself. And he's like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Renata. I knew we're going to work together. He just didn't know it. We met first time. And I met his daughter. I offered her to translate. So we sit together over the break. I just offered her to show her Prague and asked about tomorrow what Brian is doing. And she said that he's having a 10 o'clock meeting. And I'm like, oh, how can he have 10 o'clock meeting when there is a seminar in Bratislava? And she said, it has been canceled. So the intuition already knew it. That's why it didn't allow me to buy the ticket. So this is the thing. If you really listen to intuition, it might not make the logical sense, but I was like, oh, that's where we are here. So I thought meeting 10, usually till 11. So I thought he might be free for lunch. So I invited him to lunch and he said yes. And after that, when we had lunch, he asked me, what do you want to do? And I've told him about all my aspirations. And he said, oh, we are on the same journey. And he offered me to co-author a book with him. So that was the first book that we put together. Then there was another one, which I show you. That's Pushing to the Front. That's another one that we wrote together that became bestseller in US. And it's just magic happens. So if you believe in it, but for the magic to happen, I believe we really need to tune in, listen to the inspiration and take the action based on inspiration, because inspiration means in connection with the spirit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. What an amazing journey. I just love it. If there's something you'd like to leave the listening audience with, a pearl of wisdom, something that's going to have them like, let me think on that. Like, this is real. What would that be?
Okay, that would be that, my friends, you literally can manifest anything. You are creating your reality, whether you believe it or not. There are two types of people that I believe. They are either conscious creator or people who are creating unconsciously. But all of us, we are creating our own reality. So once you tune in to your heart, once you connect into the higher power inspiration through and you take action based on inspiration, you can make your life absolutely miraculous. You can manifest so much abundance at your business. I have clients who 10x, for example, their income within very short period of time once we get rid of those blockages.
Mm.
So what I would say that the biggest work that we can do in this lifetime is to get rid of the things that are stopping us. So we could unlock that potential that is within us, and we could literally create anything that we want. And I think what a joy and pleasure to be co-creator with you, Karen, as well, who is awakening the potential. I'm like, let's awaken the potential, all of us together, and become the conscious creators of our destiny instead of being just the managers of our circumstances.
Circumstances, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And Renata, thank you so much. Because all of your, those of you who are listening who would like to get in touch with Renata as well, all of her contact information will be in the show notes. And I know she has a gift for you. If you want to share it, she has a code for you. For those of you who are viewing it, for those of you who are not and just listening, that also will be in the show notes. So tell us a little bit about your gift, if you would, Renata.
Yes, thank you so much, Karen. It's literally my life mission to inspire 1 billion people around the world to become the conscious creators of our reality. And I know if I can help one person, they can help all the people around them, many people around them as well. And it's like a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
So what I am giving, and it's paid forward. It's honestly, it's just a free gift. It's a 30-minute consultation, one-on-one with me privately, where I can have a look where you are at now, where you want to be. What is your aspiration? What are the blocks that are stopping you? And we can get rid of those blocks and sabotaging moments so you could achieve the outcomes that you desire, and you could become the best version of yourself. And it could be in the area of business or in the area of health. So if you would like to join me, please go to renataangelo.com/booking. That's Renata, Renata, Angelo, Angelo.com/booking. And I'm more than happy to connect with you personally, and we can have a look how you can turn your dreams into reality.
Thank you, Renata. It's been such a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for your contributions. It's just such a pleasure as always. Like-minded spirits, I spoke into, I want to raise conscious awareness in the world globally. And I was traveling globally before my accident, and I can't wait to start doing it again. My goal is this year. So let's do it, let's get it out there. But thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Appreciate
That
you.
was my great pleasure. And thank you so much for listening, and just become the best version of yourself. And thank you so much, Karen, for doing this wonderful podcast and bringing me as a guest to
Uh,
your
my
audience.
pleasure.
Thank
And to
you.
our listening audience, thank you so much for joining us today on Awakening Potential Podcast. And as you step back into your world, remember the bridge from ordinary to extraordinary is built in small steps of change and big leaps of faith. Let's today's insights from Renata, excuse me, be a guiding light as you navigate your own journey. Until next time, continue to awaken your potential and illuminate the extraordinary within. Stay inspired. Bye for now.